This is Auto Marketing Now with Brian Pasch.
Welcome to Auto Marketing Now. On today's show, our special guest is Dan Moore, Senior Director of Digital Strategy at VinSolutions. We're going to be talking about responsive website design and how to test your mobile website for Google's speed test. So let's get started with today's show. I'd like to welcome to today's show Dan Moore, Senior Director of Digital Strategy at VinSolutions. Dan, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me, Brian.
Dealers who are watching today's show are very interested in what's been going on with VinSolutions' website. So in a nutshell, give our viewers today some of the great news that's coming down the pipe from your development team.
Well, Brian, first and foremost, our core focus right now is getting all of our current customers converted to the new platform.
Great.
That's number one initiative. Following that, right now, we're in the discovery phases again of kind of taking the Cox Automotive properties and figuring out how we can really utilize those to serve the consumer in a much better way on the websites with VinSolutions.
Great. So Dan, when we talk about the upgrade to the new platform, we're talking about giving VinSolutions customers a responsive or adaptive solution. What is the technical direction that VinSolutions has decided to take?
Yeah, so great question, Brian. So the new platform is fully responsive. Also to some of the functionality a lot of dealers asked for was the ability to do it themselves. The ability to set any type of specials, incentives, things of that nature, and then be able to take those back down, whether it be just from a rotator or even custom pages. So a lot more flexibility within the system, as well as a lot more enhancements around SEO and some of the things that we're known for in the industry.
Great. Now, Dan, one of the things that's, well, been bubbling on the news media is Google's focus on mobile-friendly websites and speed.
Yeah.
So when we look at the new VinSolutions website platform, what have you been doing specifically to make sure that those websites are Google compliant based on the new standards?
That's a great question. I think that's the hot topic right now, right? I mean, This is the first time ever Google's laid down the ultimatum. 21st, that's it, right?
Right.
So a lot of what we've been doing is based around serving that mobile experience. So making sure every page within the site offers that mobile experience, as well as looking at how fast the site loads. Going through SRP, VDP, and even homepage and maximizing those opportunities so the consumer gets that information quickly to their device.
One thing that dealers may not know, and of course we've been talking prior to coming on today's show, was that Cox is in a unique position to solve one of the greatest problems with responsive design in mobile websites is speed. Our testing at PCG Research has shown that third-party plugins really can drag down the speed of the mobile experience. Dan, have you found the same thing? What has your team been doing to solve the problem about third-party plugins on dealer websites?
Yeah, so, again, we talk about response, we talk about a lot of the buzzwords, but I think the one that's kind of been under the scenes is overall performance. And when you think about, third-party plugins and the amount of JavaScript that goes in behind those, we've seen significant load time rates take up, and kind of one of the things that we're looking at right now is how do we bring some of those Cox Automotive third-party integrations in natively into the VinSolutions websites to accommodate that speed test.
Well, see, that's why I wanted to have you on the show, because the potential that Cox Automotive companies have with a native integration, and for dealers watching today's show who don't understand that, it means that instead of having third-party programming code on VDPs for a black book or a price valuation or trade-in quotes or payment, they would be built in to the VinSolutions website code, which means same platform, same optimization. Dan, what would be one of the first integrations that you could see that would benefit dealers, not only from a user experience, but from speed?
I think a big one would be something along the lines of, you took X time, for example. You think about how much frame in is within the maintenance scheduler. You look at all that content that's in there that's sitting in a third party. I mean, you and I are both SEO geeks, so when you think about that for a second, look at all that rich content that gets sucked into the site and what kind of consumer experience that really offers.
That's right. And for dealers who have been frustrated with seeing conversions disappear when they hit an iframe. So if they're doing Google AdWords, they can't see if a service was scheduled. If they're doing Facebook advertising, driving fixed ops clicks to the service page, if it's all framed, they can't see it. But a native X-Time implementation would give them the ability to actually attribute service, appointments, and revenue to an ad cost. Is that true?
Absolutely, and even give you that further depth of insights of going what's really working and what's really not working. I mean, if you think about how much service insights we really have in today's automotive website,
right?
How much is there? Really next to none.
Really, that's correct. And what about things like vAuto, the wealth of data on vehicle pricing, vehicle availability? Is that on the roadmap to bring into the new VinSolutions platform?
Yes, I mean, when you talk about overall Cox Automotive things in discovery of what we can do, I mean, yes, vAuto scarcity, again, that's a combination of vAuto and AutoTrader, and bringing in that, how many vehicles in a certain amount of radius. So from a pre-owned perspective, it gives you some really strong insights.
Right.
KBB and their price advisor, right? I mean, being able to say, hey, cars priced right in market from a third-party validation. I mean, you think about those kinds of attributes and what that means to the consumer, changes the landscape for the dealer.
And more importantly, if Google is focused on speed and the consumer experience, having them all native built in, meaning no more plugins,
right,
I think that would significantly reduce load times and give VinSolutions customers a strategic advantage from Google's perspective.
Agreed.
So Dan, when you think of the landscape out there, one of the topics is personalization, right? So we know that consumers who come back to Amazon, for example, when I shop, it shows me, hey, this is what's in Brian's shopping cart, or these specials that are custom configured for me. What can you tell viewers today about the VinSolutions roadmap for personalized content on your websites?
Yeah, that's another good one. I feel like you're just lobbing them to me today, Brian. So content personalization, it's one thing we've actually have been working on within the Cox Automotive properties. So consumer can hit autotrader.com, kellybluebook.com, look for example like a Lexus IS, then come to a VinSolutions website, and it's all Lexus IS content, whether it be in the nav. So if I'm searching new, first top is new Lexus IS, same thing with pre-owned. And even that rotator image becomes a static piece of IS content. So we've seen, even from early signs, good stats, dropping a homepage bounce time, down to like 9% versus 50% with just general content. So there's a really good significance in content personalization. You'll see more and more from us coming out as the year goes on.
Well, Dan, VinSolutions at one time was considered a leader in websites, stumbled a little in the execution of your last platform, now back strong with your new responsive design. For people who are watching today's show, what's the one reason why your leadership and your team to drive a better consumer experience, why should they be looking into Vin websites today, and in light of what's coming down the pipe?
So, twofold question there, Brian. I would say first and foremost, from a VinSolutions perspective, our websites still, even today, no matter what, produce really well from an SEO perspective. So, that being said, dealers can really get some good organic results from our websites. From a holistic view, from Cox Automotive, if you think about all of the properties within the Cox Automotive umbrella and the integration possibilities, that should sum up to a dealer what kind of things we have coming down the pipe and why it's important to look at a VinSolutions website.
Great. So as we look down the future, we have potential integrations with vAuto and KBB. We have Make My Deal for starting the payment and negotiation process online.
Yep.
We have the integration of market pricing and vehicle scarcity data, personalization based on interactions on third-party sites. What else do you see as a perfect view of the future for your websites to, well, get dealers excited about the VinDirection?
Yeah, so obviously one thing we can't leave out is the CRM as well, right? So when you think of full circle from consumer shopping through website all the way down to CRM, you've got that full circle. You look at some of the reporting elements that we'll be able to bring as we start to tightly unify the whole Cox umbrella, and being able to tell a story to a dealer of that car, that consumer that's looking at that car, and what that really means. All the way through the process, we start to be a lot more intelligent, right? You talk about lead attribution.
Right.
I think we start identifying the consumer and creating action based on that. So just imagine hitting the Cox Automotive properties, going to the website, then going into the CRM, and that CRM being intelligent enough to go, this is where that customer falls in that bucket, and this is what kind of message we need to send.
So what I'm hearing is that with tighter integration of the CRM with the website and the Cox properties, you'll be able to develop personas of today's shopper to better direct your marketing messages, your CRM email communications, and that would give dealers the strategic advantage.
Right.
Great. Well, Dan, I'm excited to know about these future directions for the VinSolutions websites. Dan, if they wanted to get a demo of the latest VinSolutions website platform, where do they go? What do they call?
Yep, VinSolutions.com.
Okay.
Schedule a demo.
Great. And Dan, for dealers who are looking to convert their existing website to a responsive platform, can they get that turned on today?
They can, if they haven't already been reached out to, they can certainly talk to their website account manager and get that started. Absolutely.
Great. Well, Dan, thank you so much for being on today's show. I'll be calling you back in the coming months. I want to see, when all these integrations are completed, I want you to share some of the data that you have about the benefits of being in the Cox Automotive family and a VinSolutions website.
Look forward to it, Brian. Thanks so much.
Thank you. And now for today's marketing tip. Since we're talking about responsive website design and performance for a mobile shopper, I have a little homework for you today. I want you to go to your website on a full desktop computer and go to a vehicle detail page. I want you to inspect how many buttons and forms are available on your desktop version of your website. Then I want you to call up the same page on your mobile phone. That's right. And I want you to compare the buttons and calls to action on your desktop versus your mobile device. Why is this important? Because just because you have a responsive website doesn't mean that the design choices were responsible. Let me explain. If on your desktop version you have an e-price button, a test drive button, a trade-in button, and all of those buttons on your desktop website have been engaging consumers and producing leads, I've seen examples of dealer websites that on the mobile device there's only one button. Somebody made the decision to eliminate some of the features that were working to engage consumers. So, here's your homework. If you've recently cut over to responsive website, you need to look at your lead engagement strategies to see if you've been missing some leads that you normally were getting in the previous desktop version of your website. Or if you've been cutting over to a responsive website and are part of the design process, you need to ask what decisions are being made to determine which buttons are shown. Don't you agree that if the buttons were engaging consumers on the desktop, they may want to be included on the mobile version? So just because you have a responsive website doesn't mean the design today is perfect. Remember, responsive website design is new, meaning we don't have years and years of design experience and conversion experience. Could less be better? Sure. Is more better? Maybe. But why take a gamble on converting your existing website traffic by moving to a design that is extremely different on your desktop and on your mobile? Make sure it's backed up with real data to make sure that you're not leaving money on the table. And that's today's marketing tip. And now for today's email grab bag question. An internet marketing director writes, Brian, how do I know how fast my website is performing according to Google standards? Well, page speed is an important topic, and we've been talking about responsive design and third-party plugins, so it would be irresponsible of us not to show you how to check the speed of your website. The good news, it's free. Google has a free page speed insight tool that'll allow you to test how long it takes your home page to load, or a VDP to load, or your service appointment scheduler to load. And the great news is it can give you some benchmarks to compare to other dealers in your area, meaning you can test the speed of your website compared to other dealers in your market. Why is this important? Because you need to know how your website performance is on a mobile device, a tablet, and a desktop, especially for mobile consumers. So let's just go through the Insight tool. You're going to go to Google and you're going to search Google Page Insight tool, and you'll see in the search results will be the first search results you'll click on. You'll go in and put in the website URL to your website. You're going to click on the test, and it will give you how many seconds it takes for your page to load. If your page is slow, and slow we can determine by a number of factors, Google will indicate that and give you a score. What could be slowing down your website? Maybe it's third-party plugins, maybe it's your chat tool, maybe it's your website hosting platform, but it's really important for you to get your Google score, and if Google says that there's some problems, give a call to your website provider, go through them, and see if you can get your page speed to be in an acceptable range according to Google. If you have a question for the email grab bag and we use it on air, I'll send you a free copy of my new book, Mastering Automotive Digital Marketing, the first textbook for the automotive industry. Well, thank you for watching today's show, and we'll see you next week on Auto Marketing Now.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of Auto Marketing Now.